Hey, good morning, guys. It is July 7th, and Chambers is Matthew 7, which has a lot in it, but he's focusing on the narrow gate and narrow way versus the wide gate and wide path. The wide path leading to destruction. Here, let me read it actually. 7, 13, and 14. Matthew 7, verses 13 and 14. Enter through the narrow gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the path. Broad is the road that leads to destruction, and many enter through it. I think about that. I think what that even means. But small is the gate and narrow the road that leads to life, and only a few find it. And I think about that, like even as an image, what that looks like, and what that kind of translates or relays to me. And it's the if you think about a crowd going along a road, and you think the wide road is just the easy flow of traffic. In the flow of traffic is what I would say the wide road and the wide gate is just in the flow of traffic. It's mindless. It's just easy. It's probably the smoothest and most traveled. Well, it is the most traveled, but it's the smoothest because everyone goes that way. And all you have to do is roll into the flow. The narrow path and the narrow gate have a very different feeling. To me, it seems like it's probably windy and a little tricky, and if it's a path that's not as well traveled, it probably has thorns and thistles that come in from the sides, and I don't know. So it's just it's, and then Chambers takes this and says the noble way, the noble way is more difficult, and so that's kind of his emphasis today, nobility. And then I think about what's nobility, what's noble, and I talked about it a little bit with Brandy this morning, but kind of that set apart, special, higher than, called to a higher standard. I think maybe that's a good way to think about it. Nobility, called to a higher standard, called to a higher level of living, and Chambers here says, if we're going to live as disciples of Jesus, we have to remember that all noble things are difficult. So nobility is difficult. So being called to this higher level or higher standard of living creates difficulty in our lives. Again, the narrow path, watching out for all the things. It's windier and a little rockier, and so he's talking here about the what then crisis does. Let me just read this. I'm going to read a few parts here. The crisis. Oh, it's practicing. Okay. So I'm sorry, and I apologize. I read this, and then I got into a discussion with Brandy and Joseph. So I've had a gap here, and my brain is leaving me. So the crisis will reveal whether we have been practicing or not. Practicing kind of this walk of nobility. If we obey the Spirit of God and practice in our physical life what God has put in us by His Spirit, then when the crisis comes, we shall find that our own nature, as well as the grace of God, will stand by us. So practicing the difficult path, practicing the noble path, practicing being set apart, and doing the higher standard. It takes the end here says it takes a tremendous amount of discipline to live the noble life of a disciple of Jesus in actual things. It's always necessary to make an effort to be noble. And I think about, even like when I say the word noble or nobility, I think about the monarchy, or I think about the sirs and the knights and lords of old, and you think, what did their life look like in comparison to the mainstream? And it wasn't just pomp and circumstance. There was a different expectation of what they would do with their time. Their name was held to a little higher standard. And so I think, is that what we do, or is that what we're called to? Is that how God expects us to live? And I think if we carry the name of Jesus, I think it's obviously that yes, we are expected to have this I don't know, guarding ourselves, guarding the name of Jesus in our lives, putting up certain restraints and things that would protect the name of Jesus that's on our life. I don't know if that resonates with you guys at all, but anyway, that's sorry, today got a little bit off track, and my delay. I'll be back at home tomorrow, so things will be normal again. But just think about today, maybe how we're set apart, how we are guarding the name of Jesus in our lives. You guys have an awesome day.